Hello and welcome to the news at 6. My name is Christopher Baggins, and the latest headlines today are: Wookiee gets a new cage. Tensions between Russia and NATO forces rise after Russia invades Bohemia, which our war correspondent Richard Long is reporting on currently.
What started as a normal morning on the Danish island of Bornholm quickly turned into a nightmare for its inhabitants, when what was described as a routine military training by the Russian forces turned out to be anything but a training, but instead a full-on invasion. The Russian forces, said to be around 3,000 to 4,000 men strong, began their invasion at roughly 6 AM in the morning, with VDV troops being deployed throughout the island, quickly capturing strategic positions, putting the entire island on the lockdown. Shortly after, firefights between the Russian and Danish forces broke out around the several newly constructed military strongholds, which are rumoured to be the reason behind the invasion. Heavy losses were made on both sides, but with the Danish forces being in a strong minority, they were eventually overrun. With the few remaining cities that were still occupied by Danish forces being fired at by Russian artillery indiscriminately, civilian casualties were high. And as firefights were moving into the suburbs, these numbers only grew. By 1 PM, the Russian offensive was proven to be overwhelming, as the last remaining stronghold of Nexio fell. With the entire island under lockdown, the amount of refugees to make it to the Danish mainland is low. One of the few that did manage to make it out is former potato farmer Anders Jensen. We asked him to describe how he managed to escape from the tyranny that is the Russian occupation.
23.000-4.000 mand stærke. NATO invasion på omtrent 6 om morgenen med VDV-tropper.
Meanwhile, NATO forces have described the situation as unacceptable, and British Prime Minister John Major even went on record to say that such an action will not go unpunished. The Kremlin, on the other hand, has remained silent as war seems inevitable. Richard Long, AAN News.
Thank you very much, Richard Long. And now the weather with Ollie. To you, Ollie. It's gonna rain!